Hi, Tau Epsilon Phi. This is Jason Burler, the president of the TEP Foundation, coming to you to tell you about our new series called the TEP Founders Series. This new podcast, being hosted by the TEP Foundation, encapsulates the stories of either founders or refounding fathers of their chapter. This new series serves to continue the charitable purpose of our nonprofit by preserving and advancing Tau Epsilon Phi history. This new podcast was recorded in the summer of 2024 and is being hosted by our guest, Trustee, Brother Stanley Silverman, Tau Omega 73. We hope you watch all the episodes to learn valuable insights into your chapter's founding or refounding. If you are or know of any founders or refounders, please send an email to president@thetepfoundation.org. We want to capture your chapter's history. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you learn a lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Founders Podcast, the podcast where we interview founders and refounders of TEP chapters. I'm Stan Silverman, Tau Omega 402, University of Rhode Island, class of 79, and I'm here with Jonah Anderson, Epsilon-Deuteron number 1, Florida State University, class of 19, and an Al Versace Award winner. So, without further ado, here we go. Oh, you look great.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. Yeah. Don't get to wear this shirt all that often.
Right.
Okay, you need to go away. Stop. Thank you. Goodbye. Don't know who that was. So what is the name of your, so you're from FSU. What is your Epsilon?
Epsilon Deuteron, I believe.
What letter is Deuteron?
It's not a letter, it's more of a word. We actually were refounded, so we just adopted the same name from before, and it was the name that we were the third time being back at Florida State. So the second group that had refounded originally took the name Deuteron because I believe it's the Greek word for again or like another. So
okay.
it's just like Epsilon Deuteron instead, because there already is an Epsilon chapter, or there was, I believe. So we didn't want to take that name, so we just reused the original, because again or another, it means the same thing for us because we're the third. So
that's cool.
It just kind of fit. Yeah.
That's cool. And
yeah.
What number are you?
I don't remember. I need to look into that.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think I was like 71 or something like that of our chapter, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay. We can look it up later.
I can get back to you on that.
It's like David Letterman, it's the guys in the back office that don't give me the right info.
Right.
But anyway, so when did you restart your chapter?
We restarted in it was the fall of 2017. We got actually like initiated in the spring of 18, spring of 18. So it was like we started the process, got in contact with the national office in fall of 17, officially recognized and initiated in spring of 18.
Okay. What year was that in school for you?
Freshman year.
Okay. And how long were you folks off campus before you restarted the chapter?
So how long was TEP off campus? We were off. I think the last time we were there was early 2000, so like 2008 maybe. I think it was the end. I'm not 100% on that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And why did you go with TEP as opposed to going with another national, or why did you just join another fraternity?
So when I came to college, actually, I was not on board with the whole fraternity life in general. I was not a fan. Not that I wasn't a fan. I just no reason to join. I kind of thought it was like pointless, silly, at least. And I was in the founding class. I wasn't like the exact founding. Like I didn't start it. I just I kind of joined with my roommate, who was kind of higher up in the group originally, and he had kind of like persuaded me to come to one of the interest meetings with the group, and that was actually the first time that we had touched base with the national office, was that night when I was there. And I just met all the guys, and we kind of clicked, and it was just a really fun group. And I really loved everything that the fraternity stood for. So the original group in general, they kind of just honed in on Tau Epsilon Phi for one. There was a number of Jewish brothers in the group, and also just friendship, chivalry, and service really spoke to us as what we were looking for and looking to embody. So we actually formed organically first, and then went to TEP to get that, which is I guess not as a common way of a group starting that I've been informed on later on. It's not normally how it happens, but it just kind of happened organically, and it just felt right. So, and thankfully, it all clicked for us. National office loved the idea and loved that we were trying to refound the group there, and the rest is history. So,
Oh, that's great.
that's
And I'm very happy to have you.
Yes.
How did that whole, thank you. How did that whole process with national work?
So we had, I'm not sure how they got a hold of who they spoke to at first. I don't remember specifically who we spoke to on the phone that night. But got in contact with somebody. I think it might have been Jason that we got in contact with originally.
Jason Burler?
Yes.
Okay.
So he was very involved at the beginning there with us, and a big help. We got in contact. I think it might have been him on the phone that first night. I'm not sure. He definitely was involved through the process at the beginning, but I'm not sure if it was him, because I just don't remember exactly. But we got in contact with somebody on the phone, and somebody had been in contact with national office back and forth a little bit, and that's just how the ball got rolling. And we had the numbers, and then we just needed to start doing the steps to kind of try to work towards getting the on-campus recognition and going from there, and just kind of building everything, getting the status of nonprofit, getting a house, and just getting everybody initiated and getting that whole process started. Finding a footing on campus and at Florida State really was kind of how it was going.
So did Jason or somebody go to Florida, or did you rely on a chapter at another college to work you through some of those things?
Yeah, Jason did come to campus, and then for our initiation, Tim Smith also was present for our initiation.
Okay. Do you have a house? I'm sorry, you're going to say something.
Well, we don't have a house right now. We're actually have been dissolved right now at the point. I think there was a lot of issues towards the end. When after I had left the office of chancellor, there was a lot of issues with COVID that had happened, and just financial issues, and because it wasn't really set up for longevity. We tried to kind of keep it bare bone, not like in a mean sort of way, but like as like a fairness. We're going to be very transparent with all the finances and be very upfront about everything, that whatever you want to put into it is what you're going to get out of the organization as a whole, just because we didn't want to be wasting any money or like holding on to a lot of it. So we really kind of left every semester with maybe a little cushion just to kind of get us through like a summer kind of thing. But by the time COVID hit, we kind of were at a point where we're like, oh, we can't collect dues really right now. So we were coasting off our dues based off of what our cushion was left out. And we were in between houses at the time, actually, and getting ready to make a move for another house. But then COVID kind of really, there were no new members coming in. All the freshmen weren't on campus. It was a whole thing. So I think it just kind of fizzled out, and we ended up having to get disbanded. So hopefully in the future we can get another group back there again. But unfortunately, we're just not active on campus right now. We did have a house at one point though, and we had a couple satellite houses while we were in between.
So you rented a house?
We did rent a house, yes.
Got it.
There was the old group had a TEP house that was there, and we tried to get that for a while, but they ended up, by the time we had actually started getting some movement on that, it had already been bought out by another company who was tearing it down to make apartment houses. So we were unable to get a hold of that one, so we ended up renting a different one.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son went to school at SUNY Plattsburgh, and that's what they would do. They would rent different houses in the area. Yep. So I'm familiar with that system.
Oh yeah, we had a chapter house for a little bit, and we mainly would operate out of like satellite houses because we had to leave that house for complications with the campus, and it was a whole mess. So we ended up just leaving that one and kind of used satellite houses and rented out from like other like buildings that we could use for chapter meetings and things like that.
Okay. So what were your highlights of starting a new chapter?
Well, there definitely was like a learning curve because, like I said, I didn't have any interest in being in a fraternity in general. And then when I was a freshman and joined this group, I got voted to chancellor, which wasn't the plan originally, but just kind of fell in. I kind of fell into that role, and it really ended up being great. I got a lot. Well, more than anything, just the brothership with my friends, and like we I have this amazing bond with a lot of the guys that I'm still in contact with. I was just down in South Florida for visiting family, and I got to hang out with a good bit of them, like my buddy Chris and DJ, Mikey, Aton, all those guys. It's really great just I'm in contact with them pretty much every day, and it's really fun. It's great to have those lifelong. I've been in a wedding with brothers, and I've plenty of them are going to be in my wedding too. It's going to be great.
You know what? You'll stay friends with those guys for 40, 60 years.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's great.
You still stay friends with them. It really is a wonderful brotherhood that we built.
Right.
So that's a great
fantastic.
thing. What was so how big was the group when you started? And then how big was the group when you were initiated? Did it grow? Did it shrink?
It did grow. I think when I was at that first meeting, it was like 12 to 15 people. By the time we actually initiated, we were just under 40, I believe. So there was, I mean, we, the whole point was to start a fraternity that we all like kind of believed in, and because like I said, I was never really in the mindset or in the market to join a fraternity. But a lot of the guys who were in that group, for multiple reasons, either they had rushed before, didn't really find anything they fit in with, or didn't get into something they wanted, or for any other reasons, we had an idea for what the fraternal experience was supposed to look like, and we had the unique opportunity of like shaping our exact experience, and that was great. Like we got exactly what we wanted out of it, and it was fantastic, super fun, and
well, that's great,
really fulfilling, honestly.
That's fantastic. So, what year did you start school?
I started in 2017. I graduated in 21.
So was it still in existence when you graduated, the chapter?
I think it was like right before I graduated that it officially got disbanded. I'd kind of stepped away towards a little bit. I didn't go inactive, but I was like not as involved. I had to kind of buckle down and focus on my degree at the end there. But I was still involved in as a member, but it was definitely not as hands-on involved as I was before.
That silly education stuff gets in the way sometimes. Okay. So you had a real good experience with Jason coming down and working with you and helping you do. How was the campus? Were they cooperative?
So it was very complicated for us because unfortunately in that fall, so like I said, we started in the fall of 2017, but didn't get initiated till towards the end of spring 2018, and that was for multiple reasons. There was unfortunately a pledge at a different fraternity had passed away on our campus that fall, and it ended up happening the week before we were supposed to present to the IFC for the first time. And so that got canceled. All of Greek life came to a screeching halt at Florida State for like almost 2 whole semesters, and nobody was allowed to do anything at all. And when it did come back, there was a lot of new rules and regulations, a whole overhaul process, and they were not interested in any new groups because they had to fix all of the issues that they had from the current ones, and had to get rid of a bunch of other fraternities that were on campus at the time. And so for a while there, they were not interested in us at all, even to see us. So we had to go ahead and just start moving forward on our own without trying to risk the loss of the members that we had already accumulated and started growing with. So we ended up having to go in our own direction with just a national office for now, and with the intent of getting on with Florida State. But towards when we finally got a chance to meet with them, they were not interested in anything anytime soon. They wanted to plan for the future. And so they were kind of giving us like, okay, well, yeah, you can come on, but we don't like that you started already and had all these brothers initiated and all this stuff, even though they were Florida State students, excuse me. And multiple reasons. So we never fully got the Florida State recognition. It was set in stone for the future, but unfortunately, with COVID and everything else, like I said, we kind of had to get disbanded before we actually reached that date. So we never fully got the recognition of Florida State. It was always on the back burner in a very complicated, weird situation. But all Florida State students, and we're all brothers, so we still operated on campus, just not officially recognized. So we weren't able to table on campus or wear our letters and recruit with that way, but we wore letters on campus anyway. Like, we're allowed to wear whatever we want. It's just couldn't organize or do anything on campus events with other interfraternity or sorority events. A lot of under the table stuff in that sense, but for the most part, it was just trying to play by the rules and get on their good side and show them that, hey, we're here and we're doing all the right things and playing by the rules here, and we're going to do what we need to as a fraternity, whether you recognize us or not. And unfortunately, it just didn't play out. The cards weren't in our favor, but we still had the great experience that we were looking for. So,
well, that's great. Did that pledge pass away from hazing?
I think it was related. I don't think it was directly. I think it was an accident, I believe. I'm not sure the exact. I don't want to put words into whatever did transpire, but I believe it was an accident that was a result of a pledge event. So I'm not sure if it was specifically hazing involved. And again, I don't have all the facts, so I don't want to misspeak. But just because of the nature of it, it was big overhaul was needed, and there had been some issues in the past with multiple organizations at FSU's campus, so it was just time. That was just a big red flag. Stop everything. Let's fix the issue at the root. So that was a big complication.
Right. So if TEP were to try to come back to Florida State, how would they be starting from scratch? Would there be some sort of a head start there, or where would we be?
Well, I believe. Well, so all of the active members that we had are graduated at this point, I believe. Because, like I said, when I graduated in 21, by the time my whole class had graduated and left, there were probably under 10 guys left, just from the sake of not being able to recruit because of COVID-19 and everything.
Right.
And then by the time we disbanded, all those guys were all in the same class. So they I mean, it's been a couple of years at this point. So they've all either graduated or have moved on to other just life stuff in general, I think. So member-wise, we'd have to start from scratch, I believe. But as far as the school goes, all the stuff that we had done to work towards that is still, they as long as the people who were in leadership there are still around or have good historians, they should have all of our presentations and all the information that we had and what we stood for and what we've done. And I mean, we've been there 3 times, so there should hopefully be at least name recognition and a good reputation left, hopefully.
Okay, I get it. What are you doing now?
I actually just finished paramedic school. I'm a paramedic and working on finding another job. So I just finished in the past month and just getting ready to get into the workforce. I graduated from Florida State and was working as an EMT in Tallahassee Memorial Hospital as a ER tech and working in the trauma center there. And I did that for a while. When my lease was up after I graduated, I ended up getting into paramedic school at University of South Alabama. So I moved over to Mobile, Alabama, and I've been here for almost 2 years now, just finishing up I call it grad school. It's not a graduate program technically, but I'm a graduate and I'm in more school, so I call it grad school. But I just got another degree in emergency medical sciences. So now I'm just kind of getting ready to enter the workforce for real. Outside of being a student and just start working full time.
So you want to work with a fire department or something like that?
Yes. Yeah. My next step is to get into fire academy and get that certification so I can be a firefighter. But I already got the paramedic stuff done, and I've been working for a private ambulance service. In the meantime, I'm looking to get back into the hospital or get back on an ambulance as a fire paramedic.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, then we have. I'm involved in a Boy Scout troop, but there's a gentleman there who's an EMT in some hotsy-totsy town in Westchester County, New York.
Okay.
and that's what he does. He fixes people up.
Yep. It's very
So
fun.
yeah. Um, did you know that Mobile has produced like 22 well-established Major League Baseball players?
I did not know that actually. That's pretty cool.
I have a list. There's a tremendous list. Hank Aaron is from Mobile.
Wow.
Um, I don't remember the other guys, but there's like 22 of them that came from Mobile, Alabama.
Well, that's a good number.
Yes, yes. Um, so as one of the founding brothers of your chapter, has it had any catch over into your professional life?
I would say so. I got kind of, like I said, I kind of fell into the role of chancellor when I got elected into it. I just kind of had free time, and there was a lot of work that needed to be done with starting the group and getting it off the ground. So I ended up just taking one for the team, doing a little bit of the work, and working with kind of like the makeshift e-board we had before we got initiated. We just had to have some kind of leadership. But I got voted into the position, and like I said, it wasn't my intention, but it ended up going that way, and it was great. I was always kind of a shy individual before getting to college. I mean, like I'm not shy around my friends, but like more introverted, I guess. And being in this leadership role really helped me with my public speaking and planning, and like I learned a lot about life in general and made a lot of great relationships. So my leadership skills really took off, I think, after um, joining the fraternity and kind of just falling into that role, where I use that in my profession now as a paramedic. You kind of have to take charge of the scene when you're in the field, and dictate a lot of moving parts, and kind of, hey, this is what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it. And that's kind of second nature to me at this point. I was the chancellor for almost 4 years there, so just kind of leadership is kind of ingrained to me at this point now. So um, that's probably the biggest thing, and just the interpersonal relations and just public speaking, and just being more comfortable with that, and just kind of having like that leadership role has been great.
No, that's great that you were able to transfer those experiences, because you have to say, hey, folks, give me room, and this is
Yep.
what we're going to do, and this is where he's going to go. If you want to follow to the hospital, just stay out of my way. And
Right.
and and that was great training for you. That's really
Hmm.
great that you're able to use that.
Yeah, for sure.
So you graduated in 20, no, in 19, I'm sorry.
No,
No,
2021.
you graduated in 2021.
Yes, sir.
Gosh. Do you have any involvement with, so the chapter is gone. Do you have
Hmm.
any other involvement with TEP at the moment?
Not anything besides just the group chats and like on Facebook and things like that. I keep up to date with everything. I don't have any like extracurricular involvement or anything like that at the moment. Um, Try to stay involved and plugged in as best I can. At least in Mobile, Alabama, I haven't seen any like events or any brothers meeting up. But whenever I'm in town or go back down, because my parents live in South Florida still. So whenever I'm actually moving back to the area after my lease is up in September, so I'm moving back to South Florida, where a lot of my brothers live, and I talk to a lot of them regularly. And like I just got back from a trip today actually, and I visited with a bunch of them while I was down there. So I can get back down to the area, and I'll be with them a lot more often. But whenever I have a chance, I get up with my brothers, and it's a lot of fun. So not as a more of a national level, just kind of plugged in and kind of keeping tabs on it. I'm happy to get involved wherever I can. Love to give back to the fraternity. I mean, I got a lot out of it, and I think it's a great organization, and just love everything that's a part of it. So I'm very open to getting more involved. And but just on a more of a interpersonal chapter level, just with my friends, I'm definitely still plugged in with that.
That's great. It's great that you have that friendship that's still there. That's a
Oh
wonderful
yeah.
thing.
I was
Um,
even roommates with like all of us were roommates with each other. Like I had my brothers DJ, Mikey, Julian. We were all living together for multiple years, and even on campus. So like I would look at all the brothers we have, and they all were living with other brothers, and that was just naturally happened. And I think that's really fun. And I mean, everyone's kind of kept in contact, at least for the most part. I think everyone's kind of kept in contact, whether it's just a little birthday message on Facebook is, hey, hope you're doing great. Happy birthday. I'd love to catch up, or get a random call every once in a while and catch up with some guys. Or I actually ordained one of the weddings for one of my brothers about a year or two ago, and that was super fun. It's really just been a lot of fun.
That's great. So do you have any words of wisdom for undergraduates? Obviously, your chapter is not here right now, but any other TEP undergraduates of other chapters that they should be striving for, watching out for, or looking forward to?
I would say don't count out the shy guy, I guess. I mean, you never know who he could turn into. Give him a chance, and definitely build those relationships with your brothers. I think that's a big thing, because going forward, you never know. Like a lot of my friends have kind of like drifted apart from college, but the brothers that I made like in my chapter, it's like I talk to them almost every day, and it's super fun. And those are relationships, like you said, like they're going to be your friends for years and years to come, and they're going to be in your wedding, you're going to be in their wedding, you're going to just experience life together and share that, and it's a really awesome bond to have. And just enjoy the time that you got, because it goes by faster than you think. So that's what I got.
Okay. No, you're 100% right, and those are words of wisdom. Thank you.
No,
Is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you want to discuss?
I think we pretty much covered all of it. I think in general, it's a great organization to be a part of, and I'm very grateful and happy to have found Tau Epsilon Phi, and just have fell into this group that it was never really my intention, but it was like you're going to be a part of it. So one way or the other, it kind of just works out that way. I think everything happens for a reason, and I'm very grateful that it did.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear. So I want to thank you very much for spending some time with me, and
of course,
I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Of course, likewise. Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Good night. Was talking about wearing the same outfit, but I forgot I shaved my face for work.
Oh, that's okay. Let them, let them guess what happened.
Right.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. So I understand that you were an Al Versace Award winner. Please tell me about that.
Yes, I had put in for the award. I put an application in, and was very fortunate enough to win the Al Versace Leadership Award. Got the chance to kind of put my chapter on the map, and really share our story, and kind of share what it was like to get our group going, kind of like what I'm doing here with you. And it was a really unique opportunity that I enjoyed a lot.
So was it I don't know how the process works. Is it done with an essay, or is it an interview in front of a group of people, or how's that work?
Well, I'm not sure how if it's still the same. It was a couple of years ago. But when I did it, it was through applying with an essay, and just my application, GPA, all of that, and just kind of why I believe that I deserve the position. Or you can also nominate somebody with an essay as well, and you can nominate somebody for the leadership award and say, hey, this person I think deserves to win that award. And I think at that point it gets vetted through, and they kind of go through the process of choosing who they think is the best, and then the rest is history.
Okay, so mostly it had to do with you founding the chapter.
I think so. I think it was just how I worded my essay, and just the experience I had, and just in general everything that went along with it, I think.
Okay, well, no, that's quite an honor for you to be a recipient of the Al Versace Award.
Yeah, no, it's great. I've had it prominently displayed in my house ever since. I think it's a fun plaque to have, and it's a great resume booster. It's an awesome and honor to have, honestly.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate you sharing that experience with me, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
No, of course. Thank you very much.
All right, Jonah, take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.